come on in, make yourself at home.
Thank you very much.
I'm Maddie Moate. I've always been fascinated by how things are made, and that includes how we design our homes. Around the globe, what we all need from a home is the same, but somehow our dwellings are as different as we are.
That is extraordinary.
I'm curious to find out how location, community, environment, and history can influence our abodes, and also reflect our diverse passions and personalities.
It's really unique and quirky. I immediately feel really at home here.
So I'm going on a global adventure.
Bonjour.
Exploring unique houses and meeting their owners.
I'm experimenting with what a house can be.
I built with no rules.
I didn't want to have a window. I wanted to do a disappearing corner.
What?
Who dare to dream, build, and live differently.
I just had to come down here one more time before I leave, because just look at it. Welcome to Eton, a beautiful British town. We're a stone's throw from Eton College, which is where Prince William and Harry went to school, and we're practically in the shadow of Windsor Castle. But I'm not here for all of this tradition. I'm actually here to see a home that is brave, modern, and actually pretty revolutionary. Wow. I knew it was going to be different, but I didn't expect it to be so majestic. Hey!
Dido and Matt bought this 200-year-old three-bed house 13 years ago, and soon after started designing a second home for their parents in the backyard. But this isn't your average in-law suite. The couple wanted to use this opportunity to develop a world first, a prefab home made out of one plant-based material, cork.
I feel like I'm about to step into some kind of Mayan temple. It really is so alien in this landscape. We've got the spires of the Eton College Chapel, and then you turn around and you just have this extraordinary facade. So, Dido, why cork?
Well, cork has lots of interesting properties.
Yeah.
We wanted it to be sustainable, minimise waste.
We've used it to fulfil all of those functions that you need the wall and the roof to do. Structure, insulation, the external finish, the internal finish. It does the whole lot. So it was a really, really simple construction.
Right. I'd actually love to talk a little bit more about the fascinating roof shapes.
Yeah, it's not an accident they look like that. We wanted the wall construction to turn into the roof construction.
This hasn't just been an eco-building project for you, though. This really is something that you've built for your family. I can't wait to experience it as a home.
This long single-storey house is divided into 5 pyramid-topped pods. The entrance, the bathroom, the kitchen and dining area, the living room, and the bedroom.
Come on in.
Wow. Wow. It really is the same on the inside as it is on the outside, except from the outside it's got a really dramatic feel to it. But in here it's so cosy, so warm. It's like being in a little cocoon.
Yeah, I mean, you're enveloped in the cork, which is quite sheltering and quite protective, which I think gives it a sort of cocoon-like feel.
It feels like being in a sound booth, but also your voice sounds so crystal clear inside here as well.
Yes, the cork is what's giving you that really soft acoustic.
Yeah, it's a really gentle material all around, actually. You know, it's this warm when you touch it. It's quite soft when you touch it.
Yeah, it's like a cuddle.
Yeah, isn't it? Yeah.
What strikes me immediately is the smell. It's got a beautiful, toasty smell to it. Is that something that's coming from the cork?
When it's cooked, apparently, that's what creates the really smoky aroma from the cork. Yeah.
Is it weird to ask if I can smell the wall?
No, go ahead, go ahead.
Is this something that everybody does when
Quite
they
a few
first walk
people
in?
do, actually.
Just want to sort of...
Yeah.
It does, it smells really toasty.
Having sniffed the walls, I'm going to have a sniff around the rest of this home. Wow. The first pod is the sheltered porch and entrance, and pod 2 is where all the plumbing is, the kitchen sink and dishwasher. And tucked away behind that is the bathroom. As with the kitchen, recyclable materials have been used where possible. Wood, and then for the wet areas, unlacquered brass which can be smelted down for reuse. The bathroom is the only pod where there's a ceiling and no skylight. But the reason for that is even more clever use of space.
It's gone up. It's like going into a tree house. Oh, this is really cute. I bet it sounds wonderful when it's raining.
The third pod is the heart of the home, the kitchen, leading straight into the fourth, which is the living room.
Okay, the fifth and final pod is the bedroom. And notice, if you look up, that skylight, it doesn't have any type of curtain or way of covering it, which means anybody sleeping here will be getting up with the light and going to bed when it's dark. So really living here is going to encourage someone to work with their natural circadian rhythms. I had a rough sense of what the Cork house was going to look like, but pictures don't do it justice. When you walk inside, it's such a sensory experience. It feels so cosy. It just feels like being in a cocoon, and I would love to live here.
I'm joining Dido outside because I want to find out more about where this natural building material actually comes from.
Cork oak forests have been around for millennia. They're found throughout the Mediterranean rim.
Okay.
And it's harvested every 9 years, the cork bark. Hand tools, very gentle, usually two guys with an axe, and they tap it, and then it falls away.
You're giving the tree almost like a haircut every 9 years.
Yes, and so they're very undisturbed landscapes that allow a lot of biodiversity.
So it's kind of lovely that actually the tree and the material is providing a home for wildlife before you have then come along and used the waste material to build a home for humans.
Yes, that's right.
Amazing.
The cork bark is then granulated, moulded into large blocks and baked, releasing a natural resin called suberin, which bonds the expanded cork granules together. The blocks are then cut to specified shapes and sizes, giving you a kit of parts that can fit together like Lego.
Cork is a super material, so I thought we could demonstrate that. It's water repellent, but not only that, it's fire retardant. If we take this blowtorch, we can see that if I light up a piece of kindling, it doesn't take long for us to have a flame and the thing will start smoking. However, if I put the same flame over the cork, we haven't got any smoke. All we've really got is a nice toasty smell. But also it's incredibly strong. If I take this hammer to a brick, didn't take much effort for that to split in half. But if I smash the cork with the same amount of strength, it's barely made a dent. In fact, one of the large cork blocks is able to bear the weight of a 10-ton truck. Is this a super material of the future?
As the evening draws in, I get to meet the rest of the family. 21-year-old Olive, who lives in the main house with her parents, and maternal grandparents and Cork House residents, Sally and Adrian, who tell me there are even more benefits to living in a house made of cork.
The cork's very clever stuff because in summer, when it's hot, it just keeps quite nice and cool in here. And then in winter, in fact, we need very little heating at all.
Right.
And also we're measuring how much fuel it uses, you know, when we use the fire, which is nice just to be, you know, just part of the project.
The end part of the experiment.
Because it is an experiment.
This is the way architecture has to go. You know, the cork house is the direction.
Well, here's to the future then.
Yes.
Indeed.
Yes.
Cheers. Cheers. To the Cork House.
Cork House.
The Cork House is a modern, futuristic home. However, the building methods and the materials have been inspired by ancient civilizations. And what makes this place so special is its simplicity. So I think the Cork House teaches us a valuable lesson, which is that when we're trying to build a better future, sometimes we need to look to the past.